Hello, I am very excited to present to you my research topic, Preventing Bullying in Early Childhood, Examining a Modern Day Strategy. My name is Devin Strack. I chose to research the prevention of bullying in early childhood because of the negative implications it can have for children, both young and old. I truly believe that bullying can have negative side effects for children, especially concerning their social and emotional development, which can have implications later in life. So my ultimate research question was, can bullying be prevented in early childhood? And of course, how? To begin, I want you to think of a time when you were bullied. This could be a time that you were bullied as a child in preschool, in middle school, in high school. Just think about what happened and how that situation made you feel. How did it feel to be victimized and put in that position? Did it make you sad, frustrated? Did you feel like you needed to seek revenge? What kind of feelings were going on inside? Next, I want you to think about a time when maybe you bullied somebody else. This could be unintentional or intentional. Maybe you were spreading rumors or gossiping about someone. Were you truly trying to hurt their feelings, or was it completely unintentional and you didn't mean to do those things? Or maybe there was something going on inside of you that made you put those emotions onto somebody else. You were feeling frustrated, so you took it out on, the closest person to you. What was your goal in that situation? Really think about these things and keep them in mind as I continue the presentation. The next part I want to discuss is some definitions. So bullying can be defined as a behavior that is intentional. It could be a behavior that is repetitive, or it could be just an imbalance of power where maybe one person feels more powerful while the other person has less power. Um, some findings that I got from my research were that 40.6% of people in a study reported being bullied when they were in early childhood grades. Similarly, 43.9% of those adults reported being emotionally bullied or teased in their early childhood grades. So this just goes to show that early childhood does have bullying tendencies and things that go on, things that need to be prevented. So therefore, prevention in early childhood can help with these bullying tendencies. So to define some aggression, there are three types of aggression that I found in my research: physical aggression, instrumental aggression, and relational aggression. Early childhood is really the first time that children have to share their toys, space, and time. And because of this, there is an imbalance of power that can lead to socially unacceptable behaviors such as kicking, biting, or hitting, and this falls under physical aggression. If left unresolved, these behaviors can transform into bullying to regain that sense of power that the child feels they have lost. With instrumental aggression, children at a young age aren't yet able to take the perspective of another child. Therefore, they may do things that hurt another child's feelings because they aren't able to adequately express their desires. Their actions may be unintentional, but again, left unresolved, they can turn into bullying behaviors. Finally, relational aggression is done or occurs when statements are made that threaten to damage a relationship or to truly hurt another child's feelings. A lot of times this happens when students are excluded from things like birthday parties or little games on the playground, things like that. And again, when these behaviors become repetitive, bullying occurs. It becomes a bullying behavior. The first way to prevent bullying in early childhood is through positive parent involvement. Parents play an extremely important role in the development of their child. They are their child's first teachers. They teach their children how to behave in socially acceptable ways, and they are key influencers in behavioral styles. Parenting training programs have also been proven effective in reducing externalized negative behaviors that result in bullying. Parents are taught how to recognize potential bullying behaviors and how to respond to them appropriately, just to decrease the amount of bullying that occurs in the future. Parents and teachers can be constantly encouraged to use communication. Parents and teachers always need to keep that line of communication open so that everyone is on the same page, so that if bullying behaviors do start to occur, they can discuss and figure out a way to work together and prevent those bullying behaviors from continuing to happen. The next way to prevent bullying is through the use of literature in the classroom. Reading is very important to the young mind, so teachers should provide texts that have positive messages and promote acceptance of all people. They should also promote things like teamwork and inclusion in the classroom so that nobody feels left out and that everybody feels like a real team and a real community. Teachers can do things like begin the week or the school year with a book that discusses getting along. It might discuss human differences or other positive character traits, things like kindness, patience, or helpfulness, just to get it in the children's mind that these kinds of traits are the kinds of traits that are the most important in their social situations. Books that promote positive character traits and how to appropriately express feelings and emotions are very helpful to children who may have bullying tendencies. We've all seen the effect media has on children, and we know that they often sit in front of the television at home watching violent shows. The least we can do in the classroom is foster a love for learning and provide positive books to encourage positive behavior. One example I have given is Chrysanthemum by Kevin Henkes. It's a great book for early childhood because the storyline is about a young girl who loves her name, Chrysanthemum, but once she gets to school, all of the students start making fun of it because it's such a long name. So she starts to hate her name. She doesn't like her name anymore. And it's just a story about learning to love her name again, regardless of what her peers think. So now it's your turn. Think about a book that you read when you were a child, maybe it was in your class or just in your own free time, that played a major influence in your life or that you can just remember because it had such a great storyline, maybe a positive storyline. The one that hits home with me is the BFG. It's a story about a giant, a very friendly giant, but he's got some strange characteristics about him, and his fellow giants don't like him because he's different from them. But this young girl accepts him because he's so kind to her and so loving towards her. And I just remember reading this book when I was younger, and I think it has a very great positive storyline to it that could help with bullying tendencies and that type of thing. The next way that bullying can be prevented in early childhood is through the environment and the procedures that go on in the classroom. Teachers always want to have a warm, inviting, calm, and loving atmosphere because this really fosters positive actions and behaviors in the classroom. They also want to have a curriculum that is centered on teamwork and a community because that makes for strong, friendly relationships. The children really have a sense of camaraderie because they have to work together to solve puzzles or do activities or busy work, that type of thing. There's always a sense of community and working together. Um, uh, Another way to do it is by having an encouraging classroom that emphasizes empathy and collaboration in order to develop trust among students. An encouraging classroom is full of positive energy and experiences that make each child excited about the day's events. The children in an encouraging classroom come to class every day really looking forward to what they're going to do that day. Within the encouraging classroom is something called a kindness curriculum. Adults in a kindness curriculum model pro-social behaviors for the children daily to promote positive interactions within the classroom. They might do things like the buddy system where the teacher has students assigned with a buddy each week or each month, and at a certain point during the day they might have to do puzzles or painting or make a card or do some kind of art or dancing together just to get them to interact with more than just one child. They have to kind of experience the whole classroom. Teachers might also implement an anti-bullying curriculum. In this comes a sense of mutual respect. All members of the curriculum, including parents, teachers, and students, feel like they play an equal part in the learning process and everyday activities. There's an underlying understanding that bullying is absolutely not accepted. Instead, kindness, respect, and trust are the foundation for the classroom. With this positive spin on things, bullying should be prevented. Next way to prevent bullying in early childhood is through emotional intelligence and the development of that emotional intelligence. So when children are born, they cry because they cannot verbalize their feelings. That's the only way they have to communicate. But as time goes on, that has to change. Emotional regulation evolves with age. And according to Vygotsky, there needs to be some change from the self-centered self to more social feelings and feelings of empathy and knowing that other people have feelings as well. Some ways to help with the development of emotional intelligence are free writing. This can be used to help students reflect on their feelings and express them on paper. They can begin to think about appropriate responses to their feelings. The teachers can also model appropriate ways to react to children's emotions. They might simulate a toy being taken and the correct way to go about getting the toy back, or just how to share in general. They can display both positive and negative emotions and how to appropriately regulate those emotions. Teachers should always address the emotions of a child. They should never push them aside. Feelings are real and it is okay to experience them. Children just have to learn to express them correctly. They might say things like, "I see that you look upset. Can you tell me why you're upset? What can I do to help make you feel better?" Just to help the child through those emotions. Emotional intelligence is one of the most important strategies to preventing bullying because once a child can regulate their emotions, they will not have a strong desire to express their feelings negatively. They will be able to think about their feelings and think of ways to express them in a positive manner. The next way to prevent bullying is through social development. The way to do this is through social competence. This involves empathy, perspective taking, maintaining friendships, communication, reacting to conflict, and making choices. Empathy is just feeling emotion for another person or understanding what they are going through. Perspective taking involves seeing things from another person's point of view, which is very difficult for young children. Maintaining friendships just means holding on to friendships and being a good friend to other people. Communication is being able to communicate wants and needs. Reacting to conflict is just being able to react to situations in a positive way and making choices based on social norms, safety, and the feelings of others. Learning to process social situations properly can prevent bullying behaviors in the end. The final way to prevent bullying in early childhood is through the education of teachers. This just includes training seminars to get all teachers up to speed on how to prevent bullying in the early childhood classrooms. They can be taught how to identify characteristics of a bully and also characteristics of a victim. A child who is bullied might have frequent school absences, anxiety during class, difficulty focusing, withdrawal from peers, or frequent visits to the nurse. A child who is a bully might exhibit aggressive, hyperactive behaviors, low empathy, antisocial behaviors, and disruptive behaviors. Teachers should also be educated on the supervision of problem areas such as the playground, just to know where bullying might most often occur. And they should also be trained in social and emotional development so that they can help the children get through their development in those areas. How well a program adopts and utilizes a packaged curriculum or a training program will significantly impact its effectiveness in bullying prevention. In conclusion, early childhood is the best place to stop bullying. This is mostly because children's minds are still evolving. It's the easiest way to shape their new minds. Many strategies can be implemented early to prevent bullying, such as positive parent involvement, positive literature in the classroom, an encouraging, warm, loving classroom, through social and emotional development, helping the children with their emotional development and their social situations, and finally through well-educated teachers that know what they are doing in the classroom and how to prevent bullying. If these strategies are implemented, a positive, encouraging environment will be created for our students, and children will learn mutual respect for other people, and the classroom will be a more peaceful place to learn. The research I did provided me with sufficient findings to answer my research question concerning prevention bullying in early childhood. I was surprised by the numerous articles and webinars that are available to help the public concerning this topic. The one thing I couldn't find was a case study done on strategies implemented in a classroom to see if it really does prevent bullying. I would love to see this put into practice. I think the best way to apply this research to early childhood classrooms today is by implementing social and emotional competence in the early childhood classrooms to prevent bullying in early childhood. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed.